What is far deadlier than most people realize? Serious? How? Sitting on your ass. Acetaminophen. Apparently, the lethal dose of acetaminophen is less than 10 times the therapeutic dose. Cars. It's really easy to get killed in or by a car. Cows. Getting on the bad side of one of these 900 kilograms machines will mean serious injury at least. They're generally friendly or harmless too. Driving. 36,000 deaths and around 3 million serious injuries a year in the US are from driving, and we still basically just let any dumbass have a license to operate a huge chunk of metal at high speeds in close proximity to other people. Long-term sleep deprivation. Talking more about not getting enough hours of sleep on a daily basis over a long period of time. Air pollution. Alcohol. Can be deadly to both the consumer and inadvertently those around them. Fights, car accident, etc. An overdose will obviously kill you, but long-term exposure can as well. It's interesting how society has normalized such an intense substance. It's flammable and a legitimate poison to the body. And if you want to talk about weed/alcohol debate, it's funny that one makes you think more while the other makes you think less, yet governments don't mind the mindless juice. Having children. The fact that people make shows about having a bunch of them is insane to me. So many things can go wrong even if you have the best medical team. I would love to have kids in the future, but I don't think you could pay me to have one while I was in high school or while I'm in my early 20s. Now combine that with these stupid abortion laws that they're passing in some of these states that may force you to go through with a pregnancy. Yeah, fuck that. Finally, a post I have a good answer to. Eating larger quantities of Brazil nuts is stupid dangerous. Learned this firsthand. They can cause your liver to shut down very quickly and cause heart attacks. These little fuckers have selenium in them. Healthy in small quantities, but on average just 28 grams of Brazil nuts contain 988% of the reference daily intake. One nut contains 96 to 400 mc of selenium. 5000 mc has very a good chance of killing you. I ate 500 grams of these while studying, being too lazy to go to the store. A couple of minutes after I finished the bag I started having trouble breathing. I got up, became extremely hot in a flash and got a cramp in my chest. I'm young and relatively healthy, but my body was in fight or flight mode, I think because of the adrenaline my mind just cleared up. Because I've never really had any allergies, I googled Brazil nut poisonous, found the information and called the poison hotline. I explained my symptoms and told him about the selenium toxicity. He had no idea it was even a thing. He's panicking, lol, so I calmed him down and hung up, called the ambulance while opening all the doors in my apartment building and laid down on my bed. By the time I got to the hospital I was breathing better and they got me on a drip. I explained to them how many I ate and what I read online. Well, they diagnosed me with a nut allergy and sent me on my way. Delta P. Cows, cow. Poor oral health. Mundane shit. Like rolling off a couch. Or slipping in a puddle. Leaning back in your chair. Learning how to ride a bike. Roller skating. Literally anything sharp. Most things we know how to handle to avoid this. But it is very possible to just have an accident and it's over. All from the absolute most mundane of all items. You hit the back of your head just right. Accidentally puncture a major artery on a nail or something. Hell, drinking the wrong water. It's incredibly simple for one to die. But over the many years of existence, we've developed instincts and reflexes to avoid the worst of these. We learned to prevent the majority of the rest from our elders and some actual thinking. A broken heart. I have lost 100 pounds and most of my hair in a year. Loneliness. Dihydrogen monoxide. The coronavirus. Vending machines. More deaths happen from vending machines than from sharks every year. It's true. If you don't believe me, Google it. Making excuses for yourself. Lithium-ion batteries. Those cheap power banks are fire hazards. Even electric vehicles catch on fire in a garage and are hard to put out the flames. Medical errors kill about 250,000 people a year in the USA. Dogs. They kill more people than lions per year. Vending machines, apparently. How young is too young? Salt. May seem pretty simple and non-lethal. But if you eat like 4 or 8 spoons of salt, you die. Rabies. It's pretty much 100% lethal once you have symptoms. 0% survival rate. Urinary tract infections. I had one 2 years ago that started off asymptomatic. By the time I realized something was wrong, it had hit my kidneys. I had sepsis. Decades of a mundane job could drive a man mad. Stress. Being born. I'm surprised that booze isn't at the top of the list. 21 years old, USA, and everyone thinks they are a pro or at least decent at managing alcohol. This is obviously not true. Flowing solid materials don't even have to cover your nose to asphyxiate you. Anything above belly button level will slowly constrict your diaphragm each time you breathe out. Just like a boa constrictor. Working too much. Before COVID, I was in a job site that was working 7 days, 10 or 12 hours a day depending on your trade. One of the laborers had been working 7 tens, 70 hours a week, for about 2 months with no days off. As soon as COVID hit and construction got shut down, he ended up having a severe stroke. His doctors said he was lucky to live through it. Once that job opened up, Jimbo was back at it. He was trying to relearn and remember the name of all the guys on the job site, and wouldn't take a day off. When my little sister was inpatient for anorexia, there was a 17-year-old in the unit that had a heart attack from the damage she did to her body with anorexia. It can absolutely destroy your heart. Believing every thought. Ticks, Lyme/TBE/tick fever. Postpartum depression. I live in a country where even considering therapy means you're useless. 2 days ago, in the apartment complex I live, a 30-ish woman jumped from her 7th floor apartment leaving behind his husband and a 2-month-old baby girl. She had lost a baby previously and was depressed but never gave herself time to mourn or therapy. Husband was at work and her mom, who was helping her, went out to do a quick errand. In that moment she jumped. Deleted. Silent farts. High pressure injection injuries. If you think there is a tiny leak on a hydraulic hose, never look for it with your bare hand if the system is still pressurized. Doesn't matter if it's hydraulic fluid, engine oil, even water, a tiny pinhole at enough pressure could put a ton of fluid inside your body before you even feel pain and can move your hand. Very easy to get an infection or worse, and this is from a tiny hole injecting you, let alone a full failure of a hose or cylinder that could cut you in half. Being pregnant and giving birth. Walking under buildings. A few months ago I was literally one step away from having my head split open. Heavy piece of plastic came crashing down from a 20-story building. Exploded on impact. I was 2s away from certain death. Texting and driving. Or Tinder and driving, Reddit and driving, what have you. It really can wait or pull over. If it can't, yawl. Alcohol withdrawal. Poison ivy. It will eat you up. Especially in the hot months. My penis. Diving into water when you can't see the bottom. Depression. It can fester and grow until it ends. Heavier than air gases. Some gases are odorless, tasteless, and you won't even realize you're hypoxic until you pass out. Anyone who goes in to try to help you will also succumb. I can't think of any offhand because I've never worked with them, but I know people who have. I remember a story where a gas container ruptured in a holding storage bay and leaked gas out, and a guy collapsed in the bay pit, and 3 well-intended but unfortunately kinda dumb people also succumbed before the fire rescue squad arrived with masks to haul everyone. Thankfully, they all survived. The blue-ringed octopus. They're beautiful, cute and tiny, can fit in the palm of your hand, so they appear harmless, but they have enough venom to kill 26 adults. Their bites are tiny and often painless, so people don't realize they've been bitten. Alcohol, it can go from fun to lethal in a free frat house second. Ego. I've seen far too many friends nearly die or extremely hurt themselves due to them wanting to rather prove a point or impress someone else or simply refuse to be labeled a chicken. Blood infection. Can start by stepping on something.